What's up, dude? Spats here. Welcome to my channel. The Titanfall Beta is over, so I wanted to give you a final thoughts video and just give you some of the things I liked and disliked about the beta. I don't want to go too in-depth because there's so much information out there right now on YouTube about Titanfall. I swear every single player that either covered Call of Duty or Battlefield is all over this release. There's a ton of hype, ton of information, so I don't want to give you guys stuff that you've heard before. So I just want to give you a couple things that I liked about the beta and then a couple things that I disliked, and we'll start with what I liked. First thing I liked, the stability of the program. Now I know that may sound weird, but I've been a little leery with recent releases because of the release of Battlefield 4, and I can tell you that my experience with the Titanfall beta is completely opposite that of Battlefield 4. The program actually ran. I didn't get DirectX 11 crashes left and right. I didn't have the program lock up all the time. I only crashed twice, and of those 2 times, I think both were my fault because I was alt-tabbing out to mess around with DxTory settings. Let's just hope that the actual release of this game is better than Battlefield 4 and that the program is as stable as it was during beta. Now, that's not to say that the servers weren't stable, because that was what the beta was really about, in all honesty, is they wanted to test and push their servers. I understand the servers went down. There might be some issues around release, but I don't think that we're going to have a big debacle like Battlefield 4. Other things I liked about the game, the sound and graphics. And what's odd is a lot of people are complaining about the low-res textures. I completely agree that at times you can pick up these textures you're just kind of meh about. But the more I played it, the more I had an appreciation for just how well the game creates this immersive experience, and it throws you and it makes you feel as though you're in the middle of a giant mech battle. So I really liked the imagery of the game, the sound of the game, the graphics, the particle effects, the different explosions, the movement. Everything looked and sounded good, in my opinion. Other things that I liked about the game, the thing that I like about Titanfall the most is the Titans. I know that may sound kind of cheesy, but the way that they've done them is actually pretty damn good. I wasn't expecting it to be quite like this, because I thought that there was going to be one specific Titan in one particular way that you have to use it to have success, but it's totally not the case. There are so many different ways that you can use a Titan that I can't even wait. I'm so excited to test out all of the available Titans on full release, because there are really just individual and unique ways that you can run about the battlefield in a mech that I think it's going to even add more complexity. Not to say that it's difficult to get an understanding of how to use a mech, but there's going to be more complexity in mech battles. The thing I liked about it is that it's not like your typical first-person shooter all the time, right? It's not going to come down to precise aim and reflexes at all time. When you are in a mech battle, you need to be using your brain more than you are your reflexes. I know that your brain controls your reflexes, but you know what I'm talking about. You need to focus on your situational awareness and your overall strategy more than you need to focus on your precise aim or reflexes. So I did dig the mech battles and look forward to using the Ogres, Striders, and all the other Titans more than I had access to just using burn cards. Now let me talk about a few things that I dislike about this game, and let me preface this by saying that I will be picking up this game. I had an overall great experience with this beta. This is going to be a game that I'm going to play, that you will see some content on this channel. I know some of you aren't a big fan of it, but it's a game that I've had a lot of fun playing, and that's what I needed to say before I talk about some of these things that I dislike, because I don't want people to get the wrong impression or overall impression. So the number one thing that I noticed about this game, and my biggest complaint about this game, is the pilot versus pilot gunplay. The mono, let's shoot each other down gunplay. It's too watered down for me. I can understand, after having played now, why people reference this as Call of Duty with mechs. The gunplay is really watered down. A lot of hip firing, little recoil. Every now and then you get killed by one of those weapons. You're just like, really, why is this even in the game? Smart pistol, not a fan of it. I having played a little bit more, the smart pistol isn't really that big of a threat. The better of the players are going to stick to SMGs and carbines, it looks like, and it seemed more rare to find somebody that actually knew how to use the smart pistol than it did finding people that thought it was an OP weapon but didn't have a clue in using it. But overall, like I said, the gunplay to me, I was turned off from the start just because it's like every single person's hip firing. There's no recoil. There really isn't anything that distinguishes the weapons among each other in terms of how they behave when you do fire them. The only weapon that I honestly had any trouble controlling and had to really even be concerned about recoil was the amped LMG. Outside of that, just hold down the trigger. Just hammer away, and that's what it is. So in terms of the gunplay, I'm very disappointed. Other things that I don't like about the game, well, this one's kind of 50-50 because I understand what the purpose of the AI is. It serves as being able to either score attrition points, or you can reduce the time to build a Titan or charge your core with AI. But I'm not completely sold on the whole concept because it's just a distraction, really. And the AI, they're not really a threat. I mean, even if you hack Spectres, yeah, they'll shoot rockets at, you know, nearby Titans and everything, but they're not a big factor. And if anything, they're more of a distraction and hindrance than they are a help half the time. Half the time, I swear I get killed because I'm trying to pick apart okay, is that the pilot or the AI? And then you shoot the AI and you're like, well, shit, now I'm on the mini-map. Here comes the pilot, and you get kicked in the face because you got distracted by this damn fodder. I hope that they do a little bit more with the AI because overall right now I'm not completely sold on it. Other things I dislike about the game, and this is something I haven't researched to see whether or not it's going to be changed for the full release, but the matchmaking system. I can't stand matchmaking systems at all in first-person shooters. I think I don't like it. I want to have a player base that is able to control and influence their own servers. Do you want a game mode 24/7 on particular maps? Do you want specific things? Players should be able to control those types of things. I don't like having to go through a general server service or go through these Microsoft servers in a matchmaking system. I strongly dislike that. And the timer, oh my god, I could bake for 5,000 people between rounds. 90 seconds is way too long. Now, one last thing that I need to touch on, because I'm not completely sure of what to say about it, and that is the hit detection and or quote-unquote netcode. It feels pretty good at times, but then again, there are times when things feel squishy, when it feels as though your opponents are taking 20, 30 rounds, and I don't know if there really are any hit detection issues in this game because, you know, I didn't really have that much time to play around with it and test different things out, or if I'm just hypersensitive about this thing right now with the problems with Battlefield 4. So I can't really say for certain, is the hit detection really good? Is it really responsive? It is at times, but I have had instances where there is severe lag. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I close this video. But that's it for this one, guys. I just wanted to give you a couple things I liked and disliked about the beta, and then let you guys know that I will be picking this up at release and probably doing some Titanfall content on this channel. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that final thoughts video. We will catch you guys later. Kyoko.
Engaging follow mode. Auto type engaging hostile infantry.
There are still militia forces in your sector. Terminate with extreme prejudice.